Hey everybody, welcome to class today. So today we're just going to do a well-rounded flow. It's going to be a little bit of a longer class today, so we're going to hold some of the poses a little bit longer. If you do like these classes, please remember to like and subscribe and head over to my Instagram and my blog page for more info or to send me a message. We're going to start today at the top of the mat in standing. So start by closing the eyes, grounding down equally through both feet. Taking a nice deep inhale, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale through the mouth, drop the shoulders down. One more like that. Inhale through the nose, shrug the shoulders. And then exhale through the mouth. And then start to breathe in and out through the nose, directing the breath all the way to the lower ribs, the lower belly. And then as you exhale, emptying the breath all the way, keeping the shoulders, the neck and the jaw relaxed. And take a few moments here to maybe set an intention to clear out anything that might be playing on your mind, and to dedicate this next little period of time to you and the time on your mat. Bring the hands together at heart center, bow the head. And then opening the eyes, we'll start with some sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend as much through the knees as you need to. Inhale, step the right leg back, knee up or down. Exhale, plank pose, knees can be down. Hold the breath, hug the elbows close, lower to the belly. Inhale, peel the chest up, active legs, cobra. Exhale, press the ground away, downward dog. Inhale, step or assist the right leg forward for a lunge. Exhale, fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg steps, knee up or down. Exhale to plank, knees can always be down. Hold the breath as you lower slowly to the belly. Inhale, flip the toes, peel the chest up, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or assist the left leg forward. Exhale, right foot meets left, fold forward. Inhale to raise. Exhale to fold, we'll pick up the pace. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, plank. Hold the breath and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, dog. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left. Exhale, plank. Hold and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, dog. Inhale, left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale, halfway through. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Inhale. Last round. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands heart center. Step the feet hips distance apart, toes pointing forward. Sink the hips back as you inhale, chair pose. Reaching the arms long and out of the shoulders. They can be directly in front of you, or if you can keep from flaring through the frontal ribs, they can reach up by the shoulders, by the ears. Take a peek back, make sure you can see your toes, knees are over the ankles. And take 3 more breaths here. Take an inhale. Exhale, keep the legs, bring the hands to heart center. Shift the weight to the left, cross the right leg over the left, maybe wrapping the ankle around the calf for eagle legs. Take the arms out wide, inhale, and then exhale, cross the right arm underneath the left, either giving yourself a hug or bending at the elbows, bringing the palms to touch. Try and direct both hips towards the front of the room as you sink the hips a little lower, reach the elbows a little higher. And take a couple more breaths here. Keep the arms. Inhale, start to unwind the legs. And then as you exhale, start to take the right leg back as you reach the arms forward, coming into a warrior 3 variation. All 5 toes of the right foot point down to even off through the hips. Starting off with balance really helps you to bring your mind to the present. And take 3 more breaths. Start to bring yourself upright. Bring the right leg in front of you, either with the knee bent or the knee straight. Standing staff, reaching the arms directly overhead. Keep the hips over the shoulders so you're not leaning back and water skiing. 2 more breaths, lift the leg a little higher. 1 more inhale, and then exhale, bring it all back to the floor. Inhale, sink yourself for chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the left leg, wrap it over the right, maybe wrapping the foot around the calf. Inhale, spread the arms. Exhale, cross left elbow under right, either giving yourself a hug or coming into the wrap. Sinking a little lower in through the hips, reaching a little higher through the elbows, relaxing the jaw. Keep the arms. Inhale, start to straighten through the right leg, and then as you exhale, start to tilt the upper body forward as you reach the left leg back, facing all 5 toes of the left foot towards the floor, reaching the arms a little bit longer, gazes down at something that's not moving. And take 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, start to bring that left leg forward as you come to standing. Knee can be bent or straight out in front of you. Arms reach up overhead. And again, keeping the shoulders as over the hips as you can. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, bring it all back to center. Inhale, sink the hips for chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, take the hands to the knees, draw the shoulder heads away from the floor. Exhale to fold. 2 more like that, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release. 1 more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step 1 foot back at a time to plank pose, and we'll hold. Make sure that the shoulders are directly over the wrists. Active engagement through the legs, pressing back through the heels, reaching forward through the sternum. Gaze is at the front of your mat or directly between your thumbs. And bring the feet together, take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to shift to the outside edge of the right foot. Take the left arm up. You can always drop the bottom knee or stagger the feet if you need to modify. Wherever you are, the left hip will draw slightly towards the front of the room to stack on the right. Your legs are active as if you're standing on the floor. Take 1 more inhale here. And then as you exhale, make your way through center and come over onto the left-hand side. Left shoulder directly above the left wrist. Right hip drawing slightly forward, active through the feet and the legs. You can always keep your top hand on your top hip if that helps you. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, plank pose, and then take the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Feet hips distance apart, slight bend in the knees as you send the tailbone up towards the sky, actively pressing away through the arms, biceps wrapping towards the front of the room. And then inhale, shift it forward to plank. Drop the knees if you need to. As you exhale, elbows point backwards, hug the sides of the bodies, chaturanga. And we're going to hold, so really activate through the legs. Shoulders are above or in line with the elbows. Lower belly engaged. 2 more breaths. Inhale, press with the whole hand back to plank. Exhale, downward dog. We'll put it to the breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhale, whole hand presses plank. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, shift it forward. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Chest and legs land at the same time. Untuck the toes. Elbows keep pointing back. Inhale, peel the chest forward for cobra. Feel the strength in the upper back. Exhale to lower. 2 more like that. Inhale, lead with the sternum. Exhale. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, hover the hands. Inhale here, a little higher. Exhale, hover the feet, inner thighs spin up. Inhale here. Exhale, hands shoot behind you, reaching for the back of the room. Lift a little higher, hold for 3 more breaths. Relax the shoulders around the ears. Think more of the shoulder blades wrapping onto the rib cage. And then plant the hands either underneath the shoulders for cobra or back by the lower ribs underneath the elbows for upward dog. Take 1 more inhale with the legs floating. Exhale. And then on your next inhale, drop the feet, either cobra or lifting the knees, lifting the chest, upward dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll put it all together in a vinyasa. Take modifications if you need to. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, or all the way to the belly. Inhale, flip the toes, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more with your modifications. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look towards the top of the mat. Step, walk, or if you're ready, hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take the hands to the hips, shift the weight to the left foot. Bring the sole of the right foot either to the ankle, calf, or upper inner thigh for tree pose. Both hips keep facing forward, but the right knee is actively reaching towards the back of the room. And once you're stable, feel free to take the hands to any variation that's working for you. I encourage you that if you bring your palms together over the head, if you bunch up through the shoulders, and keep the hands apart. Take 2 more breaths here. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. You're just going to shift the right ankle over the top of the left knee. And you might stay here, or as you inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, start to sink the hips back as if you're sinking into a single-legged chair pose. You can stay with the hands at heart center, or you can hook the elbows over the shin, or if you need to take the hands down to the floor, take the hands down to the floor. Actively engage through the right foot and try and draw the left hip in towards the midline so you're not swinging over towards the right. Take one more inhale. Exhale, slowly come to standing and then set the left foot down. Shift the weight to the right foot and then bring the left foot up for your version of tree pose. Take the hands to the hips and get both hips facing forward and then actively reach the left knee towards the back of the room. And then take whatever hand variation is working for you on this side. And you might find that your balance is very different from side to side. And that's fine. We work with what we've got. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Stay here or start to sink the hips back, hugging the right hip towards the midline, and staying with hands at heart center, hooking the elbows or taking the hands down to the floor, depending what you need on this side. Wherever you are, stay active through the left foot. As you inhale, start to come to standing, and then exhale, drop the left foot down. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to plank or jump to chaturanga, landing with bent elbows. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Look towards the hands, step, walk or float. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, raise the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or float. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Look towards the hands, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to raise, falling tree somewhere. Exhale to fold. Feel free to stay at your own pace. Inhale to lengthen, big tree falling. Exhale, step, walk or float. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Look towards the hands, step, walk, float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to raise. 3 more rounds like this. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, float. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Look towards the hands, step, walk, float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to raise. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look towards the top. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last round. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look to the top. Inhale. Exhale. This time as you inhale, sink yourself for chair. Exhale to stand. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, float. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step the right foot up by the right thumb. Drop the left foot on an angle, toes pointing towards the front corner of the mat. Heel to heel alignment. Hug the right hip in. And then on an inhale, lengthen the sternum. Exhale, run the hands back behind you towards the back of the mat. Gently draw your right hip back and towards the midline as you reach the sternum forward. And then as you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, warrior one. So back out of it a little bit, put more pressure in through the back leg, really activate the back foot. And then keeping that pressure, start to bend into the front leg, trying to work ribs, collarbone towards the front of the mat, maybe the hips. One more point of alignment, making sure that that right knee is gently nudging towards the outside edge of your mat and not collapsing in. 2 more breaths. Inhale at the top. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Your choice, downward dog or take it through a vinyasa. Vinyasas are always optional. Skip them when you need to. Step the left foot by the left thumb. Line up heel to heel. Back foot angles in. Hug the left hip in as you inhale, lengthen the sternum. Exhale, float the hands back behind you. Hug that left hip underneath you, maybe hooking the thumb to draw it back. And then inhale, raise up, warrior one. Taking a little bit of weight out of the front foot to ground down strongly through the back leg. Rotate the torso towards the front of the mat. And then keep that as you start to bend deeply into the front knee, making sure that it stays over its ankle. I'm trying to draw the torso out of the lower back. Take an inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, plant the hands. With or without a vinyasa, make your way back to downward dog. And then look towards the hands, step, walk or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to stand. Surya Namaskar B, 3 times to the breath. Take it at your own pace. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, float. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right leg steps. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands with or without a vinyasa to downward dog. Left leg steps. Inhale, warrior one. Strong warrior one. Exhale, with or without a vinyasa to downward dog. So don't lose the integrity of your poses just to go faster. You're better off slowing it down and having a strong pose than to just flop and flail across the mat. Look towards the hands, step, walk or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Right leg, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Left leg, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Take 3 breaths. Look towards the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, last round, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Right leg, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Left leg, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Down dog, hold for 3 breaths. And look towards the top of the mat, step, walk, float. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale to stand. Inhale, chair pose, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right leg back, low lunge. Inhale, reach the sternum forward. Exhale, sink the hips a little lower as you actively press up through the right leg. Should feel a nice stretch through the right hip flexor. Shine the heart forward on an inhale. Exhale, hug the left hip underneath you. Run the hands towards the back of the room, lifting the belly off the left thigh, power lunge. You stay here with the arms behind you, or as you inhale, you can sweep the arms in front of you. Stay strong and active through the back foot. And then inhale, make your way up to crescent pose. Bending the back knee, maybe hopping the foot in a little bit if you need to gather the length through the spine, and then keep that as you start to straighten through the right leg. Gently drawing the left hip back and in to even off through the pelvis. Take an inhale to lengthen, and then as you exhale, take the right arm forward, left arm back, twisting towards the left. The hips don't come with you on the twist comes from the upper body, so you're probably not going to go anywhere near as far as what you might think you want to go. Take one more inhale here. Exhale. You're going to start to lean forward. Take the right hand off the top of your mat and then start to come up into a standing split to start with. Keep your left hand on your left hip, even off through the pelvis. The right toes point down. Your right hand is underneath your right shoulder, maybe on a block. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine, and then as you exhale, start to open up through the left arm into twisted half moon pose. So sometimes it helps to keep the hand on the lower back. If your right hip is dropping way down, you might need to take a block or a water bottle to bring the ground closer to you to allow you to get more rotation through the upper spine. And if you're really tight like me, your arm will be more parallel than up towards the sky, and that's fine. One more breath. And then exhale, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to fold. Inhale, step the left leg back. Exhale, sink the hips as you actively draw up through the left quad, reaching the sternum forward, drawing the right hip back. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, lift the belly off the thigh, send the arms back behind you, relaxing the shoulders away from the neck, making sure that front knee is directly over its ankle. Stay here, or inhale, reach the arms directly out in front of you. And taking a slight bend to the back knee, maybe hopping the back foot in a little bit. Inhale, crescent. Gently drawing that right hip back if you need to, hugging it in, lengthening through the spine, but not tucking. And maybe straightening the back leg. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Twist from the torso. Shoulders are above the hips. Head is above the shoulders. And take the right hand to the right hip. Start to take the left hand down to the front corner of your mat. Step up onto the right leg. Start off by squaring off the hips, maybe grabbing your prop to bring the floor closer to you. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, start to twist from the torso towards the right. Maybe the right arm comes towards the sky. And take a peek down. If your gaze is back at your knee, direct it towards the front of your mat to lengthen through the spine and twist a little deeper, keeping the hips as even as you can. One more breath. And then exhale, fold at the top of the mat. And if you thought that was hard, you would be correct. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bringing the feet together with a slight wedge in between the heels. Sink the hips, raise the arms up, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the sternum to the thumbs. And then as you exhale, start to twist from the torso, maybe hooking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee or resting the elbow to the insides of the knees. Wherever you are, peek down, the left hip is going to want to swing forward. So draw the left knee back in line with the right, and your gaze, if you look down, should be directly between your big toes. And then start to turn the gaze towards the right. If you take an open arm variation, spreading the right arm up, left arm down, feel free to take that. Two more breaths. Inhale, bring yourself through center. Stay in the legs if you can. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. This time taking a peek down, drawing the right knee back in line with the left, lengthening the head forward, and then exhaling, twisting from the torso towards the thumbs. And again here, if you wanted to spread the arms, as long as you can keep the integrity of the twist, feel free. The main thing we're looking for in our twist is length. Two more breaths. And then exhale, straighten out the legs, fold forward, give the legs a little bit of a shake. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, with or without a vinyasa, make your way to downward dog. Look towards the top of the mat. Step the right foot in between the hands. Drop the back foot, heel to arch alignment. Hug the right hip underneath you, and then inhale, cartwheel yourself up to warrior two. Your shoulders are above your hips. You're strong through the back leg, and you're bent deeply in through the front. Again, making sure that right knee isn't swinging in. You want it directly over the ankle, hugging the right hip underneath you. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the tops of the shoulders. And the torso is working its way towards the left side of your mat. Inhale, flip the top palm, keeping length through both sides of the torso. Reverse your warrior, sweeping the sky. And then exhale, we're going to make our way forward into side angle pose. So you might bring forearm to thigh, hand to the inside of the right leg, or hand to the outside, with or without a block. Keep the back foot grounded, keep length through the spine. The chest is spiraling open, and the top arm might reach towards the sky. It might reach up and overhead, or it might stay on the hip. Wherever you are, the bulk of the weight is through the feet, and that right knee stays directly over its ankle, and shortening your stance if you need to. Three more breaths. And discomfort will come. Breathe through the discomfort. If you feel pain, back out. Take the top hand to the top hip. Walk the right hand forward in pinky toe side as you hop the back foot in, coming up into half moon pose. Again, you could always have a block here to bring the floor closer to you. Right knee and right foot point forward, gentle bend in the knee, and then opening up through the left hand. The left hip will rotate down towards the floor slightly. You don't want to try and crank the hips open here, but you do want to open through the chest towards the side wall or side of your mat if you're lucky to be outside like me. And taking the top hand back to the top hip, we're slowly going to step back to warrior two. So bend the front knee and then take the left foot back wide. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, this time straighten out through the front leg. Reverse your triangle as you inhale. Exhale, come back up to upright. Parallel the feet. Take the hands to the hips. Shorten your stance a little bit. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, hinging forward at the hips. You're going to tilt yourself forward as far as you can, as if you could get the sternum and the crown of the head to the floor. Elbows squeeze towards each other to broaden through the collarbones. Active and even grounding through both feet, but don't lock out through the knees. And then look towards the top of your mat. Start to walk the hands over to the top of the mat, rotating onto the right foot, ball of the left foot. Bring both hands to the inside of the right knee for lizard pose. You can drop the back knee, you can drop the elbows, you can have the back knee up and down on the elbows, you can walk the hands forward. Whatever variation of this pose brings you the best stretch into your right hip in front of your left leg. Wherever you are, I want you to think of drawing the right knee in towards you for the moment. And then you can stay here, or you can take the right toes out at a 45-degree angle, start to rotate to the outside edge of both feet, maybe rotating and reaching the right arm towards the back of the room. Should feel a nice stretching through the right hip. And sweep the arm back, forward. Step it back to plank with or without a vinyasa. Make your way to downward dog. Step the left foot forward in between the hands. Line up heel to arch. Draw the left hip underneath you. Rotate up. Warrior two. Sinking nice and deep, active through the back leg. Shoulders over the hips. The front knee over the front ankle. And then trying to rotate your torso towards the right edge of your mat without losing the connection in the front knee. And relax something. Your eyebrows or your jaw. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior, keeping length through both sides of the torso. And then as you exhale, leaning forward at the hips, either forearm to thigh, inside of the leg, outside of the leg, with or without a block. Shorten the stance if you need to keep that ankle, the knee over the ankle. And then right onto the sky, reaching ahead of you or to the left, to the right hip. And keeping length in through the spine in your side angle pose. And take the right hand to the right hip. Take the left hand forward. Step the back foot in. Half moon pose. Maybe keeping the right hand on the right hip or opening it up towards the sky. Opening the chest towards the right side of your mat. Strong through the right leg as if you're kicking the wall behind you. Slowly start to bend through the left leg. Step it all the way back to warrior two. Take an inhale, warrior two. This time as you, exhale here. This time as you inhale, reverse your triangle, straightening out through the front leg. And then exhale, uprighting the torso, parallel the feet. Interlace the hands behind you. Inhale, broaden the collarbones. And then as you exhale, folding all the way forward, maybe bringing the hands up and overhead, maybe keeping them on the lower back. Wherever you are, think of openness through the fronts of the shoulders. So if bringing your hands forward causes your shoulders to round, keep them back a little bit. And then start to look towards your left foot. Rotate onto the left foot, ball of the right foot, both hands to the inside of the left foot. And come into your variation of lizard. Elbows up or down, back knee up or down. Maybe you use blocks. Maybe you're more flexible on this side than the other side. I encourage you, if you bring your elbows down, don't round through the upper body. If you round when you bring your elbows down, start by taking the hands out in front of you and propping up onto your fingertips so you can keep the length in the spine and get a little bit more depth. Stay here or turn the left toes out at a 45-degree angle. Start to rotate onto the outside edges of both feet, maybe reaching the left hand back behind you. And then coming out of it with or without a vinyasa, making your way to downward dog. Looking towards the top of the mat, step the right foot in between the hands, heel to arch, inhale, warrior two, exhale, sink a little deeper, inhale, reverse your triangle, and then this time as you exhale, lean forward out of the right hip, and then come into triangle pose, keeping the right leg straight, but not locked, gentle bend in through the knee, maybe you have a block, maybe the hand comes to the shin, keep length in through the spine, weight in through the big toe of the right foot. Option to stay here or reach the left arm overhead. Option to stay here, or if you can keep everything the same, maybe float the right arm up and overhead. 3 more breaths. Inhale, split the arms. Exhale, upright the torso. Take the hands to the hips. Start to walk the right foot over to the right. Square the hips towards the front of the mat and hop the back foot in about 1/3 of the way. So both hips should be able to face forward equally. Inhale, reach your left arm up. You might want to block here. Exhale, start to lean the torso forward, using the arm to gather as much length as you can. Come to about parallel to the mat, and then as you exhale, start to twist towards the right side of your mat, bringing your hand down to the floor, a block, the outside of the shin, whatever works for you. And you can keep your hand on your lower back, or you can start to reach the right arm up to the sky for twisted triangle. Keeping length in through the spine. If you gaze down, you want your head to be in the midline, not one way or the other. One more breath. And then exhale, fold forward, pyramid pose. Hands can be down on the ground, or if you want a bit more of a shoulder opening, you can take opposite hand to opposite elbow or reverse prayer. Drawing the right hip underneath you. Taking the hands down towards the floor, with or without a vinyasa, make your way back to downward dog. And step the left leg forward, line up heel to arch. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale here. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your triangle. And then as you exhale, start to reach far forward over that left hip and bring yourself down equal length through the torso into triangle. Gently unlock that front knee, strongly ground down through the back leg. Stay here or reach the right arm forward and overhead. Stay here, or if you can keep the length in the spine, float the left arm. And keep both sides of the chest rotating to the side of the room for one more breath. And then exhale, come upright. Take the hands to the hips, walk the left foot to the left, hop the right foot in. You're now heel to heel alignment. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, start to tilt yourself forward at the pelvis, using the left hand to gently draw that left hip back into the socket. And then as you exhale, start to twist the torso first to the right and then bring the hand down to your block, shin, floor, whatever is accessible for you. And then maybe you keep the hand on the lower back and work on opening the shoulder, or maybe you can open the arm up. Keeping length through the spine and keeping the head in the midline wherever you are. Take one more breath. And then exhale, take the hands down or take the hands behind the back for a shoulder opener of your choice. And take the hands down with or without a vinyasa. Make your way to downward facing dog. Look towards the hands. Step walk or float the feet to the outsides of the hands, landing in Malasana, yogi squat. Sinking the hips down, gently drawing the knees apart and sending the crown of the head up towards the sky or in that general direction. An option to stay here or option to plant the hands and work on Bakasana, bringing the feet together, snuggling the arms to the insides of the legs, planting the hands, and then shifting the weight forward onto the toes and lifting one or maybe both feet towards the bum, balancing on the back of the arms. Three more breaths. And then step, walk, float, make your way back to downward dog. And then look towards the middle of your mat and step, walk, float yourself to a little crouch in the middle of the mat. So you're up on the toes. We're going to work to side crow. So keep the knees together and you might stay here in a little squat holding the hands at heart center. This is stage one. Exhale, hook the left elbow to the right knee, just like you did in chair pose. And you might stay here or with the hands down on the floor. Keep the hands shoulder distance. The left knee is going to rest on the back of the left arm and the right hip is going to float in space. Bend both arms like chaturanga arms. Start to shift the weight forward as you lift the feet off the mat. And maybe you split the legs, maybe one knee comes to hover, maybe the right arm or the leg comes forward, left leg goes back. Wherever you are, however you like, make your way back to downward dog. Maybe you hop it back through chaturanga. Many face plants happened before that became a thing. And look towards the front of the mat. Step, walk, hop to the middle of the mat. Try and not crush the beetle that's crawling across. Off. So we're going to work towards side crow on the second side. So bring yourself into your little squat. Stay with your hands at heart center. Or as you exhale, start to twist the right elbow towards the left knee. And maybe stay here. Or planting the hands hips distance apart. The left knee will rest on the right tricep. The left hip will float. Start to shift the weight forward into bent elbows. And maybe float the feet. Maybe the knees come apart. Maybe the left leg comes forward, the right leg comes back. And maybe you can jump it back to chaturanga. Make your way back to downward dog. And then from here, you're just going to drop one elbow at a time and come into dolphin pose. So the forearms are parallel and you're going to walk the hips in so that the shoulders are directly over the elbows, reaching the chest back towards the hips, to the thighs. 3 more breaths. And exhale, set the knees down, child's pose. Take a couple of breaths. So you can stay there or we're going to work into headstand. So for headstand, take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Make a little basket with your fingers. The crown of your head is going to come to rest between the fleshy part of your hands. So we all start by coming back up into dolphin. Walk the feet as close as you can. Stay here or rest the crown of the head on the mat. Walk the feet in as close as you can and then tuck one heel to the bum. Stay or tuck the other heel. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to extend the legs up towards the sky. We're going to hold for several breaths here. Come down and rest in child's pose whenever you need to. Feel free to stay longer if you like. Otherwise, slowly tuck the knees in towards the chest. And then with control, 1 foot at a time, come back down to the mat and rest in child's pose for about 3 to 5 breaths. Make your way back up to a seat and cross over the ankles and come to sit on the bum. The right heel is going to come by the left hip and the left foot is going to stamp to the outside of the right knee. If that's not comfortable, straighten out the right knee and just cross the left leg over the top. Take the left hand behind you, inhale, reach the right arm tall, and then exhale, twist towards the left. So you're twisting towards the top knee. You can always just hug the knee. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Try and keep both sit bones to the floor if you can. And then we'll unwind and take it over to the other side. So either extending the left leg or crossing it under by the right hip. Stamp the right foot over, take the right hand behind. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhales take you longer. Exhales twist you deeper. Slowly start to unwind yourself. And then make your way towards the top of the mat. And start to lie yourself down onto your back, rolling down segment by segment. And then bringing the feet hips distance apart. Take the hands down by the sides. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, keeping the feet parallel, knees over the ankles, start to lift up into bridge pose. And think of gently drawing the heels towards the bum, and you should feel the back of the legs, the hamstrings contract. And think of lifting the hips a little higher, you should feel the glutes contract. You stay here, or you can interlace the hands underneath, pressing the floor away, opening up through the shoulders. And exhale, slowly roll it down. And take a couple of breaths. So you can repeat bridge, or we can work in towards wheel. So if you're setting up for bridge, you're going to do exactly the same thing, maybe lifting one leg off at a time when you're up there. Otherwise, you're going to take the hands, flip the palms so that your fingers are tickling the tops of your shoulders. Elbows point directly up towards the ceiling, and the elbows are going to stay close. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, come up into bridge pose on the tops of the shoulders. Make sure that the knees are not splaying out towards the sides. Take an inhale here. Exhale, start to press strongly in through the legs as you straighten through the elbows, shining the chest through the gateway of the arms. Make sure the feet have stayed parallel, the knees are tracking in the same direction as the feet, and the elbows aren't splayed out to the side. Take 3 more breaths. And then to come down, tuck the chin towards the chest. Elbows stay close. Land on the back of the shoulders first. And then rest the back down. Take one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. 3 breaths. And then your choice, another bridge pose. If you wanted to take a restorative bridge, you could always place a block underneath the hips. Otherwise, take bridge, or one more time, chakrasana, wheel pose. Flipping the hands, elbows to the ceiling, inhale to the shoulders, and then exhale, powerful through the legs. Straighten the arms, chest through the gateway of the arms. You can always play around with lifting one leg and then the other. Maybe one hand and then the other. Make the pose yours. And when you're ready to come down, tuck the chin to the chest, hug the elbows close, land on the back of the shoulders. And let the knees knock in towards each other. Take one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. And take a few deep breaths. And then bending the knees. Don't draw them in towards the chest so much as just lightly hover them above the torso. You start to take the hands behind the back of the knees and roll the length of the spine. Try and use your center to control the movement, pausing at the top and the bottom of the roll. And then on your next one, making your way into Navasana, boat pose. Feet can remain on the floor. Feet can float to tabletop or straighten. And you can keep the hands behind the knees or straighten the arms out in front of you. Bring the hands together. Inhale here. Exhale, take the hands off to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. A few more each side. Staying nice and tall through the spine. Dropping the feet to the floor if you need to. And then inhale, center. Exhale. Cross over at the ankles. Plant the hands down by the hips. And then lift the bum off. Maybe, if you can, lift the feet off. And then inhale, back to boat pose. Exhale, cross the opposite ankle in front. Lift the feet, maybe the hips. Other way around. You get what I mean. Boat pose. One more with the ankles crossed. We've got 2 more. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. One more boat pose, and then exhale. Scale pose. Inhale to boat pose. Take the peace fingers, hook them around the big toes. Maybe take the heels to the floor. Otherwise, float the heels, extend the legs out in front of you, keeping the spine nice and tall. Stay here, or come into upward angle pose, taking the legs apart. Maybe playing around with leaning the weight back a little bit, seeing how far you can control the movement. Take an inhale, exhale, bring the legs back together, slight bend in the knees, take the feet down to the floor, and then we're just going to come into Paschimottanasana. So taking the peace fingers around the big toes, maybe holding the outsides of the feet or the legs, bending your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. And then we're going to come into a hip opener of your choice. So I invite you to come into whatever feels good in your body. You might take a simple cross-legged position. You might stack the shins for double pigeon. I'm going to take Gomukhasana, so take the right heel by the left hip. The right knee will face forward, and then the left knee will stack on top of the right. The more parallel you take your shins to the front of the mat, the deeper you'll feel the stretch. And I encourage you to try and keep both hips on the floor, taking a cushion underneath if you need to. You can stay here with just this hip stretch, or you can take the right hand up towards the ceiling, bend at the elbow to touch the back of the shoulder, and take the left hand up behind you, maybe grabbing a hold of fingers, staying upright, or taking a forward fold. And trying to keep the head back in line with the spine. And slowly releasing the grip on the arms and switching out the legs in whichever variation you're taking. If you're taking Gomukhasana with me, the left leg will come underneath, the right knee will stack on top, taking your shins as parallel as works in your body. And then if you're taking the arm variation, the right arm will come underneath, the left arm will reach up and over. And one side might be different to the other. You might not be able to grasp as easily or at all on one side. And that's fine. You can always use a strap or the back of your shirt. Just observe what comes up in the mind when we ask it to be still in these poses that are maybe not as demanding on the strength, but are nonetheless physically demanding. They'll often release a lot of pent-up emotions. Just observe that and just sit with that. Breathe through it. Release the pose, and we'll come into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, bringing the soles of the feet together. Take an inhale, stay sitting up nice and tall here, or if you can keep length through the spine, start to fold yourself forward any amount. So part of what we learn in our yoga practice is taking the tools, the strength and the breath that we learn here and taking it into our everyday life. So when we're faced with situations of discomfort or stress or even anxiety, we have the tools to breathe through it and know that it is a temporary state of passing. We are much better equipped to deal with it. And slowly bring the feet and the knees together. Make your way back onto your back for one final spinal twist before we close out our practice. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Draw the knees in towards you And then let the legs fall over towards the left, keeping the right arm, shoulder grounded down on the floor, and starting to soften through the breath, soften through the body. And then coming back through center, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, drawing the knees in towards you, and then falling over towards the right hand side. The left shoulder drawing towards the mat. And then inhale, draw the legs in towards you, giving yourself one final squeeze. And then coming to rest in Shavasana, or your final comfortable resting pose, letting the palms fall up towards the sky. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale through the mouth, let everything go. One more like that. Inhale through the nose. And then let it go through the mouth. And taking a few minutes here at least to soak up your practice, to sit with anything that might have come up, and then to let it go without judgment, without attachment. Today, as you go forward, may you see your thoughts without judgment. May you speak your truth, and may you have honesty within your heart. Namaste.